Hey folks, well, it's March 8th. I'm over in the north side of the work area. And there's some more of the seed racks over there, and you can see they're completely covered with stuff. And my seed starting areas here are just completely congested with crap. So I got to get to work and try and get some of this area cleaned up so I can get my seed starting equipment out and get some onions and leeks started. Here we go. Hi folks, Kevin here. Well, I'm back in the work area over next to the coop, and I mentioned I had some work to do to try and get the seed area cleaned up and set, get all the stuff I had stored in here, and get a little workstation ready for starting the seeds as well. So I was able to get some of it done yesterday. I'm going to stop the camera, turn it around, and show you the seeder. Come down here in the label. I'm not sure how well that's showing up, but this is a Berry Seeder Company. This is a vacuum seeder that I'm using. I just got this in this winter, and this is a 72 cell. It's a plexiglass vacuum seeding unit that takes multiple different plates for all the different size seeding cell formats. So there's certainly, like, these are 72 cells. So there's 72 cells in each seed flat. And today I'm starting some leeks and red onions. And I've got to get those all started. I actually started some yesterday. See if I can cruise around here. So here are some of the leeks started, and I'll start some more today. What I've done already is I keep in some of my totes, these Rubbermaid totes, some of my seed starting mixes, and then I go ahead and pre-fill the flats and press them down, use the base of the cells to make impressions in a little dimple. And yesterday I used this for the first time. I'm going to use it again. There's a little U-shaped trough at this side of the vacuum seeder, and that right in there right now is pelleted seed. And these are little holes that the vacuum will create a suction and hold the seed. Now this happens to have a little dimple in it as well. That's for the pelleted and large seeds. The rest of my seed flats, they look like the tiniest holes. Actually, I thought when they sent me the plates that go on here that are interchangeable, I thought that they sent me some that weren't drilled yet. And they're such tiny holes for the tiny seeds that we have, like the brassicas and all. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around. And so this is our little station for right now. I'll just cruise around here so you can see. That black bin is the bin that I use for actually filling the flats, and I first fill them with these soilless mixture, and then in another set of bins there I've got some vermiculite that I'll use on the top, because that'll help to prevent the any growth on the surface of the cells. So sometimes you'll have some mold that'll start to grow on the surface of the seed flats, and so that really helps hinder that development. That's why that sort of a brownish, tannish color that you see on the top of these. Below that is the soilless mixture and the seeds inside of those as well. I'm going to cruise back around here. So that's where I mix the materials, put the soilless mixture in there, start them there, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other camera, and you can watch this thing in action. Makes a little noise. You can see the other flats down below, down there. Won't be able to see the holes. I needed to put my glasses on to find them. So here we go. It'll be just one moment. All right. Now, one of the things that I just did, I'm not sure how any of this is going to show up. I'll have to probably shoot this a couple of times. But I dropped my seeds the other day, yesterday, and I actually got some dirt in it. So you saw me reach down and clean off a spot on the vacuum seeder. What it was is a small piece of dirt occluded one of the holes, which prevented a seed from sitting there. But all the seeds are in almost the center of the cells. They're down in the dimples. And I don't know that this is necessary, but I go ahead and I touch each one of the seeds just to give it a little bit of an impression down in. There's one in every cell here. The soilless mixture that I'm using has perlite in it, which is white, and these pelleted white seeds are white, but the pelleted seeds are almost completely spherical, which is the perlite is somewhat irregular in shape. So that cell's all set, that tray's all set. So there's a small gate, a small little sliding gate that slides back and forth on here that actually shuts off the vacuum and allows the seeds to drop out of each one of those dimples. And you can see I initially didn't have the gate open when I first started doing the vacuuming just a moment ago, and I could see that the seeds weren't adhering to the little holes in the seed plate itself. So that was a mistake on my part. And there's still quite a variety of seeds still in that little U-shaped channel, and as long as I set it properly, those seeds will stay down in that U-shaped channel, so that I don't have to reload it each time that I'm going to be putting the seeds in. And it's filling every cell every single time. And geez, if I have close to 100% germination, this really saves me a heck of a lot of time each season, because it would literally take me hours to do what I can do in just a few minutes now. Okay, I'm back again. I'm over at the sink, and I have two trays here. One that's a support tray that actually holds and supports the cell flat. So I have the 72 cell seed trays that are going to go inside of this, and typically these would go out in a greenhouse, and you just go ahead and water them from the top. The water would go down through them and go out onto the floor. However, because I'm within a workshop area that doesn't have drains on the floor, and I want to control humidity in this room, I'm going to do a couple of things. First, I fill up this hard plastic seed tray, and I let that fill up with water. I put this one inside of it, and then I'll put that 72 cell flat inside of here and just let the water slowly absorb up through the soilless mixture and hopefully start to break down to allow the seed to germinate. Then the next thing I do is, after it's completely nice and moisturized, I'll put a small amount of water. I'll go ahead and set one of these, the tray supports, which will be here. Next thing I do is put a non-perforated, so there's no holes in this seed starting flat. So I'll put that inside of there. So now I've got nice rigid support, and I have this here. And typically most people would just set their 72 cell flat inside of this. But I've learned that by using one additional one, and this is one that's perforated. So you can see there's holes through this one, and I put that one inside of that. So now I've got the extra support, a non-perforated tray, and then a perforated one. And then I'll put the 72 cell flat inside of this. Now the reason that I do it that way is so that when the weather's nice and I can start getting them out and start hardening off the plants, I can leave the 72 cell flat inside of this unit, pull out the non-perforated tray, set this inside of it, and it drains out the water a little bit more slowly as opposed to just the bases of the 72 cell flat. So it's often real windy here, the cells don't dry out and I don't lose as many plants. We're in a real windy area here, and maybe if you're in a very arid environment, that might help out with the transpiration evaporation processes. And there's Timmy, my helper. So I'm going to turn on the other camera and you can see some of that in just a moment. Now, if you can appreciate it, it really floats around initially. First, the tray support, non-perforated tray. And the perforated tray. Okay, as you can see, I've got quite a few of the trays. I've got 12 trays of the leek set, 72 cells each, and they're all watered and set. The fig cutlings up there are doing pretty well. The fig cuttings, not cutlings, coming up with new terminology here. So I still have to start the red onions next. And but I wanted to show you the vacuum seeder. I'm pretty impressed with that. That's going to save us a lot of time. Previously with the red onions, all of our onion species and the leeks, I'd start them in big trays, and then at the time of transplanting we would separate them all out, and it really took a lot of time to separate them. And we use the Jean Martin Fortier's method of making 9-inch dibbles, 10-inch dibbles, and putting each leek down into the hole and let it gradually fill in. And that works out extremely well, but I think it's going to be much easier as each one of these plugs we can set down in the hole and not have to tease out and disrupt the roots of the leeks as we did in the past. So it takes up a heck of a lot more space. But in the future, that won't be a problem once I have all the greenhouse erected and all. So that's it for today, folks. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up if this is of value, and please share it with your friends. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye-bye now.